Howdy doody. Welcome to the show. It is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. It is Friday, sunny here. I'm excited to be in the middle of the Sweet 16 weekend. I am Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com. I'm joined by the one, the only
Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together, in case you're new to this whole thing, we do this each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday. Little show we call Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. We're excited to be here, excited to be part of the Max Wagers Network. Don't forget to check out everybody on the MWN. Starting off, of course, with Midday Money with Sean Higgs, Morning Wood with Allie Burns. Just Parlays. They should call that show Just Winning Parlays, Scott, with Chris King and Jim Williams. Yours truly's here at 2 p.m., and we bring it on home, or 3 p.m., and we bring it on home at 5 o'clock with Detroit Lenny and Nick and Tim. And their show is called what, Scott?
It's called Game Time Decision.
Beautiful, beautiful. Tell me this kid can't learn. I bet you killed it on the SATs, huh?
I took the ACT, actually.
What'd you get, buddy?
I think my highest score was a 31, I believe.
Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's check in the comments section, see what's going on with everybody. David Good in the house, checking in from AZ. JC Stone is here. Bronco Devil should have zigged. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's funny right there. I would have put that in the burn there if I would have thought that. That's very funny. Winner never goes away, David. Oh boy, that's true. 1777. Like Dusty Rhodes said, back to the window, baby. Beautiful. G Money in the house. Ninja, is it really Peacock Day? Yes, it is. And I'm going to give my partner in crime here full credit. He spends a lot of time on Twitter, and I guess that was a big Twitter thing today. I did not see it. So I have full 100% credit goes to the one, the only Scott Rochelle for pointing out it is National Peacock Day. I am totally trusting on this. I did not look it up. I did not confirm what he said was true. So,
oh no, it is. It's National Peacock Day.
Did you look that up somewhere, or you?
Yeah, it's on Google.
It's on you. Did you Google it, or are you lying?
No, it's on Google.
Okay.
You search up National Peacock Day, and then it comes up March 25th.
My God, if that's not serendipity, I don't know what is.
I mean, he just saw a live Google search. That's what you just saw right there.
Okay.
Usually you pay extra for that type of content, but yes, it's actually National Peacock Day.
David Goods on the Cox as well, plus 13. That came out wrong. He's betting on the Peacocks this evening.
Okay.
Big X in the house. What up, X? You on the Cox tonight, Scott?
For me, no. I'm just gonna watch the game. I'm rooting for them, of course, because why would I ever want to root for a team that's about 3 times the size of the other team? You know, in order for David versus Goliath, you got to have a bit of a size differential there. So I'm going to root for David. But at the end of the day, it's one of those games where I feel like most people are just going to blindly take Purdue. I've watched Purdue most of the season. I've seen them mess around and look like idiots half the time. I wouldn't be shocked if they found a way to punt it, but we'll see.
They've played some very weirdly non-competitive games a couple of times this season. I'm just hoping they have one of those. Like, you know, they had that Michigan game where Michigan wasn't playing good basketball at all. They beat them by, I don't know what, 20?
Well, then they got buried by Michigan later on by like 20-something at home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They got hammered twice by Michigan, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that team shows up. We'll see what happens.
All I know is I'm not picking St. Peter's money line or anything. Yeah, I think Damien hit it on the head. I told you that. I made a tweet about it for the jokes. I wanted one sports book to post a line on free throw attempts for Purdue.
Yep.
Just for the hell of it.
Yep.
Like Bet Online or somebody just to actually see. Sorry, if you like to Bet Online, I hope they would have posted something about a prop there. Hell, max bet $25. I kind of just wanted to see what the free throw attempt disparity would look like. But at the end of the day, Purdue should get to the line a bunch. St. Peter's overcame that against Kentucky. We'll see.
We shall see indeed. It's something that I talked about on my personal video, on my play of the day video, the fact that they're just pretty much going to concede inside. I mean, they've got a cat that really rebounds well for his size. He's 6'7", so he'll go in there, he'll contest, but this is a
See, the thing is, though, I can't even just blindly take Purdue because of the size differential, because how the hell did they lose to North Texas last year?
right.
So this team in the past, even though they have a bunch of size, has been known to randomly mess around and lose games.
Yep.
So
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And it's a numerical spot that favors the Peacocks. The double digit seeds don't generally do well in this round, but they are kind of undervalued. So we'll see what happens. Of course, the all three double digit seeds covered last year. Both times the 15 seeds have made it to the Sweet 16. They covered. History is on our side. King David versus the Philistines. God is on the Peacock side. How can you? Yeah, it's got a saint right in the name. How can you fight against that?
it's got a Peter in the name. I mean, come on.
You've got you got Saint Peter, who is I don't know, pretty much what, third guy in charge, second guy in charge. He swings a pretty big bat up there in heaven. And you've got the Boilermakers, which is named after a beer and a shot. So I think the righteous are on the Peacocks tonight, buddy. How about that for a non-scientific reason?
Yeah, it gives you. I mean, we mentioned Peacock Day, and believe it or not, I know I mentioned it kind of as a joke because I feel like, hey, St. Peter's, the Peacocks are playing, whatever. But it really shocks me every day. I can't say I'm shocked. I'm more disappointed that so many people on Twitter who actually gamble are using National Peacock Day as the sole reason why they're spending actual money on St. Peter's.
Same people that like the 7 dog because he has that nice green sweater.
Pretty much.
Like this, they like the stripes.
I think a color bias might even be better than looking at the calendar and assuming that it's divine intervention. But still, of course, I'm rooting for St. Peter's, but it's really crazy how many just recreational bettors who just bet it by the seat of their pants. It's really crazy when you think about it,
It is. They should be professionals like us and have not won one of my plays of the day for about the last 5 days.
I had a couple. I mean, I had a bad trip. I had a bad trip there in Vegas for some of the plays of the day, but still, I'm not saying that, of course, if you don't want to make a joke and put a little bit of a sprinkle on St. Peter's, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. But
right.
Some people are actually placing like unit size wagers, whatever, on St. Peter's solely because of the calendar.
I am proud to say that I made my St. Peter's play before I knew it was National Peacock Day. So
no, I'm saying you had your reasons. I'm saying other people just look at the calendar and go, I got to do it.
And we're gonna,
like,
you know what?
You don't have to do it.
We're gonna wind up in the same place. Me and everybody that bet because it's Peacock Day are gonna wind up with the same result.
Yeah, you can end up with the same result, but I'm saying, like, at least do some research besides looking up the calendar. I mean, come on.
Do you read the comment section at all while we're doing this?
No. Well, you mean this comment section? You mean for our videos after they?
No, the live comment section.
Yeah, I do.
How do you not just laugh when, like, David?
Oh, it's great stuff.
Big Peters have brought down more than one man. Come on. Come on. That's quality shit right there, man. I bet $25 on St. Peter's because I want to see grown men cry. Yeah, you'll see it too. All right, let's talk about a little bit about what happened yesterday. Before we do, we'll take care of business. Got to pay them bills, so make sure, of course, you guys like the video and subscribe. I know we're going to end up with somewhere around 80 to 100 viewers by the end of this, so I expect to see 80 to 100 thumbs. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. So smash that thumb. We appreciate it. Of course, subscribe to our channel here at the Winners and Winers YouTube channel and at Max Wagers Network YouTube channel. We're trying to grow the hell out of that, so please take a minute and get over there and subscribe there. Don't forget to check out our deals that we're doing with our partners over at BetMGM. You know the drill, up to $1,000 first free bet. Absolutely risk-free. You win it, you win it. If you lose it, the good folks over at BetMGM make it good. And, of course, it is available only in states where BetMGM is available. You must be 21 to play. And the exciting thing that we're doing over here, we talked about this for a long time with the guys. We talked about having various contests and doing certain things. And, man, they are jumping in with both feet now. Winners and Winers offering 10 grand to anybody that can nail all 15 questions that are going to be involving the Elite 8 games this weekend. They'll send a list out tonight. After the games are completed, when we know all the matchups and everything, there'll be 15 questions on there. If anybody gets all 15 right, it's going to be sides, totals, player props. So if anybody hits 15 for 15, 10 grand. 10 grand right in your pocket. If nobody hits 15 for 15, do not fret. You are still in line to win a cool $1,000 first prize. Other cash prizes available if you get close. And of course, it is free to play. No obligation, no bullshit. Just get over there and sign up. The link is in the description here of the video. And of course, we're doing a Sweet 16 betting guide. It's ready to rock and roll. Of course, half the games were played yesterday, but it's still relevant for 50% of the games. So make sure you click the link in the show description and get your Sweet 16 guide as well.
By the way, one quick point there about the read. You
Yes?
said BetMGM, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we squashed that. We got to deal with Caesars though.
Are
You
we
bet
on the
$20.
Are we on the Caesars train too?
I believe we have switched. We've transferred from the BetMGM train to the Caesars train.
Was that in an email?
Yes, it was.
I have been shut out of email since Tuesday. Something happened to my Outlook, and it's my settings are no longer valid. We've been working on it with all the tech people over at Winners and Whiners. I have not seen an email since Tuesday. Apologies to everybody at Caesars. Fuck off to everybody at BetMGM. I never liked you anyway, so go to hell. No,
I'm assuming we'll have them again at some point.
No, I know. No,
the Caesars promotion there. You bet $20 on men's college basketball. You get a $200 free bet if the team you bet on scores a single point. Promo code is WAWMAR2. That's WAWMAR2. $20. All you need is your team to score 1 point. $200 free bet.
That's a good save there, buddy. Good save. Look at you being up to date on your emails and shit. So, okay, apologies to everybody that would be offended by that. So, congratulations. That's a cool deal as well. Don't burn any bridges. Oh no, James. No,
he was completely joking. I just threw it out there because I heard him mention it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we switched our promo situation.
We loved BetMGM before they became a sponsor. So even if they're temporarily not a sponsor, we still love BetMGM, and we're really going to love them when it comes to baseball. David said, thanks for the Royals pick. Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's I wouldn't say it's free money, but it's a better, you're getting better value than what the bet cost you. Somebody's asking about the Royals at minus 140 today. That was a little rich for our blood, but again,
I have to look up Texas in spring training. Truth is, I really didn't dig into it. I saw 145 and immediately said, we're not doing this for farm.
Yeah, we try not to do the same plays 2 days in a row.
Yeah. Besides that, we usually look for a line that's about 135 or lower.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday about anytime the Royals are, what we say, minus 130, minus 125, it should be an auto play.
Yeah.
I don't really care. The pitchers, it doesn't really mean much to me. Yesterday, the Royals starting pitcher didn't do well. It was Daniel.
They gave 2 in the first, and whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure. Royals were down 3-0, Scott. I'm sure there was people sitting there going, I can't believe these fuckers are playing preseason baseball. What a couple of degenerates. And then the Royals came roaring back. Then they gave up the tie, and then they end up winning it. So very good. Super Sly in the house. Steen has no outlook. Oh, Bronco Devil. He's got jokes, everybody. He's got jokes. Hey, Scott, let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. Let's do it. Let's do the Friday edition. By the way, there is serious consequences if you do not like and subscribe. I don't know what they are, but do like and subscribe. And of course, stay tuned for the NASCAR show that we're going to do. We didn't pump that, and we're going to have Allie at 2:30. I got so many reads to do, Scott, even the ones I don't screw up. So we're going to have Allie Burns on at 2:30 or my time, 3:30, everybody else's time here in just 15 minutes. And after that, we're going to be having Chris King on to do NASCAR. We're going to be doing a whole show there. And then next week, we're doing double headers every day. So,
by the way, you got to step your game up.
Why? What I do?
Or total chaos. What's up?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we disagreed on one, and it was perfect for you, and just couldn't quite get there for me. So I was 2-1. I'll take that every week. I'm not going to lie to you. So, but congratulations on your 3-0.
Thanks.
Well done, buddy.
You better run, Chris. I'm coming for you.
You must be very proud. All right, guys, let's find out the good news, the bad news, the people that took it in the shorts, the people that took it to the bank. You know who you are. You know who you were when you had to get out your, you want to get out of your flip phone and call the cops. Very good. So, Scott, I know what Bronco Devil's talking about. If you listen to that in playback, like the sound effects are really low. And I don't know why, because they're like almost cranked up all the way on my board.
I don't mind it.
Okay. All right. Very good.
You forgot about the "how does this concern me" theory.
The Scott rule. Damn it.
The Scott rule.
Forgot.
I always forget about it.
All right, here we go. You'd think I would remember that more often. Hey, call the cops, man. If you had the Arkansas Razorbacks team total under 73.5 against you know who, they had 72 with the shot clock turned off. They had the breakaway. Just dribbled out. Just relax. Just take it easy. You won. Just go sell. No, that's not at all what happened. That's a dunk. That's a jam. That's 74. Kiss that 73.5. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Call the cops.
1 second left. You shouldn't be that surprised because Arkansas's had a couple of breakaway dunks to end games this season, so they just kept the same intensity. Either way, that's still pretty rough. Other bad beat was actually my play today. Originally, if you had the Bucks minus 12.5 against the Wizards,
Polish middle.
Of course,
Polish middle alert.
It was 100% a Polish middle. We told you not to take the Wizards plus the 9 after Giannis got ruled out. But either way, before Giannis got ruled out, line was 12.5. Bucks led by 26 somehow. I'm not really sure how. After the third quarter, and then they got outscored 36-22 in the fourth, and they won by 12.
Oh, just absolutely brutal. I kept seeing that score throughout the game, and I saw they were up by 26 going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, yeah, he should have just played it. He's gonna have a win, and nope. He get beat by 14 in the fourth quarter.
The thing is, it was a situation where, of course, I was annoyed because I was in a glorious situation that failed miserably in the end. I mean, my play was basically dead as soon as Giannis got ruled out anyway, so the fact they were up 26, as far as I'm concerned, was a miracle.
Here's the deal. I think it's almost like injuries really matter in the NBA unless they don't. Because I have seen this time and time again, Scott. We had it happen the other night. I had it happen to me as I faded Portland. I know I've been burned by this Bucks situation. Waited till game time. Giannis is out, hammered the opposition, and the Bucks not only win but they cover. So I've seen it play out before. No Middleton, no Giannis, no matter. Just brutal.
How the hell are you up 26 with no Middleton and no Giannis? How does that happen?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's just weird. It just happened. So
of course the Bucks didn't care. I mean, they coasted to a nice win. It got a little bit dicey when they were up. I think it was like 9 with a couple minutes to go. But at the end of the day, I could have made something on Twitter. I could have said I'm voiding what I'm not doing that. I'm sure a lot of you who watched the video ended up not playing it, or if you did, you got a better number. So it is what it is.
All right, very good. Hey, turn into baseball when things didn't go quite as well for some other folks. If you had the Dodgers Rockies under 11, didn't the Dodgers screw us? Weren't they on the call the cops yesterday or the day before, Scott?
Yes, it was the over in that case.
Yeah, they put up 6 in the first 2 innings and then couldn't get there, right?
Yeah, they had like 2 runs the rest of the way, and the total was like 8.5 or 9 or something.
So you've adjusted your plays. You go, oh, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to play the Dodgers under. So yeah, that's thinking right there. Mm-hmm. So you took the Dodgers Rockies under 11 because you remembered it's not in Colorado. What the hell, 11? Come on now. So the Dodgers, they did what they're supposed to do. They lit 6-3 heading into the 9th inning. Just shut them down, boys. That's all you got to do.
Not even shut them down. Just don't let them go nuts.
Well, you know what? They let them go nuts. They let them go nuts enough. The Rockies scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th. They ended up tying it up. Nobody wanted to watch any more of that. It ended 6-6 because, why not? Spring training. But if you had the under 11, you didn't care how many innings it went. It went 1 too many. Call the cops.
Well, it was a double bad beat, but one was a bad beat push. Because if you had the Dodgers money line and you end up getting your money back when you're up 3 going into the bottom of the 9th, that's rough. But we all know if you have a choice between picking for call the cops, a loss, or a tie, we're going to pick the loss. And right. Yeah, you lost.
Yeah,
but you can argue that's a moose.
Otherwise, it's just call the cops non-emergency numbers. So
yeah.
All right, that was some good news. There were some people that had nice, easy victories. You know who you are. Now let's identify it so the world will know. Who was sitting, Scott, yesterday in the rocking chair?
So, first one we're going to talk about was in the NBA. If you had the Grizzlies minus 11 against the Pacers, well, Ja didn't play, so you know the Grizzlies were automatically going to win. They led by 26 at half, and they won by 30. When you're laying 11 and you're up 26 at the half, I consider that a rocking chair.
Absolutely, can't argue with that at all. And if you had Houston plus the 5,
Cougs.
and we both liked them in that spot. No, you liked Arizona, didn't you?
See, I love Arizona as a team.
About that.
Yeah, I loved Arizona as a team, but I really thought that Arizona was in a pretty good buy low spot. Nothing against Houston. I really like that team, but the fact that they were I say consensus number 2 option to win the title going in, and how everyone hated them, I did think it was a pretty good buy low spot. Didn't work out, but I thought it was a good buy low spot.
That was a long time to say, yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's a long time to say that, yeah.
Houston plus 1.5. They never trailed. Never, ever trailed, Scott. Not once. Ended up winning by 12. How about your Cougars? If you had the Cougars right there, you, my friends, were in the rocking chair.
And the last one, if you had Michigan Villanova under 136, hey, I got something right. Each half had less than 60 points, and the game landed 118.
A couple of those games yesterday really could have gone the other way.
If they made more shots than they actually made.
I mean, Texas Tech had what, a 4-point lead at halftime.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought you meant total wise. Okay, sorry.
No, not total wise. No, that total would have taken probably a couple of overtimes.
I was the totals were kind of decided. Villanova was coasting under. Tech, I don't want to say it was coasting over because the second half kind of exploded, but that Gonzaga game was just an easy under from the start.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of trends, pointed historical trends in the Sweet 16 round, pointed at the under for that game, and that's absolutely where it landed. 3 under bomb.
I mean, we talked about this, by the way, quickly before we went on air. I'm not sure how much of the actual games are going to go through because I'm assuming we're saving most of it for when Allie's going to be here. But I want to talk a little bit about that Texas Tech game because zone defense was the story in that game because people are going to praise Coach K for switching to a zone. I get it. You switched it up. It worked for a little while there in the final 3 minutes. My question is, why did Texas Tech stop playing zone? I don't understand it. I know that Duke had a couple of open 3-pointers, and they missed pretty much all of them. Bonchero ended up making a 3-pointer from the corner. They never went to zone again. The counterpoint can be made that Duke continued playing zone, and Texas Tech had a bunch of wide open threes too. They just bricked a bunch of shots as well. So Duke's getting praised for playing zone defense, even though they had a bunch of wide open shots. And yet, Texas Tech's defense was also working out with the same flaw, so to speak, and they stopped playing it. I don't know why Tech stopped playing zone, and it's not even just a matter of hindsight how Duke made the last 9 field goal attempts, but even as it was happening, I had no idea why they stopped playing zone.
See, Bill McDonald pointed out in the comment section, a great point, that Duke shot 71% from the field in the second half. However, as you pointed out, they made the last 9. So obviously going into that, they were still shooting well. They were probably shooting over 50%.
I think the final 8 were against zone, but of course that's hindsight. Even as it was happening, I didn't understand why they were switching from zone.
Well, I guess they felt that for whatever they were doing, it wasn't working. When you're still giving up over 50% and you're the statistically the best defense in the country, I can see making the switch. When you see it doesn't work, I don't mind switching it up, giving them a different look. If things are getting a little stagnant, you're not doing as well as you normally do, that's fine with me. But when you see it's not working, switch back. Let's go, guys.
I just didn't. Both teams had the same exact situation with the zone. Both teams gave up a bunch of wide open 3-pointers. The point is, Tech missed a bunch. Duke also missed a bunch. And Adams caved. Coach K stuck with the zone, and they won the game. At least that's how I interpreted the situation. You?
Yeah. I mean, you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it from either side. You can say, well, Duke was unbelievably hot. Nothing Texas Tech could do could stop them. which is sort of true for the second half, or you can say Texas Tech made a fatal error, switched to the zone, and then I would add did not switch back.
I'm just saying, Bonchero made 1 3-pointer and they completely abandoned ship. I thought it was absurd.
Duke going to play zone versus Arkansas as well. Musman likes to play the center on the perimeter.
I have a weakness for zone defense. That's why I like Syracuse in the tournament and why they tend to cover a decent amount or make some type of run. It's because most teams aren't accustomed to seeing it.
Well, I think that's why Boeheim has such success with that weird little hybrid 3-2 that they play.
Yeah. Of course, eventually you run into a great team, and Syracuse will lose in the tournament, which is why Boeheim only has 1 title. But there's a reason why, despite having mediocre regular seasons, they make Sweet 16 runs. It's because they play a defense that most people aren't accustomed to facing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which team are you probably surprised at? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna let's do. I want to talk about this real quick before you have Allie on. Let's find out, Scott. I don't know that we've done one of these this week, so I'm going to do it. I won't say that I was mad, even though I had them, but man, was I disappointed last night.
We all know who it is. I mean, truth is, you actually have 2 options. One is European, the other one's domestic. We'll stick with the domestic one, and then I'll give a brief footnote to the international one.
It's Gonzaga. It has to be Gonzaga as they lose again as the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, of course, that's kind of a snarky thing to say last year when they made the championship game, so we'll give them a pass there. But you have to remember they're kind of lucky to get there, Scott. They hit kind of a miracle shot to even advance. That was in the in the 8, or that was to get to the.
It was the Final Four. They were tied at the moment.
That was a semi.
Juzang ended up hitting the game-tying layup, and then Suggs hit the shot. I'm not saying they would have lost in triple overtime,
right? But
they missed their chance last year.
So what happened last night to this team? What happened to this Arkansas team that had scored 53 points the game before?
They torched them. 73. I guess I don't know if that's a torching, but Gonzaga's offense completely just fell apart.
Gonzaga got out. They were up 8 points with about 6 minutes left, and you go, here they go. It's going exactly like I thought it was going to go, and then that was pretty much downhill.
You mean 6 minutes left in the first half, right?
In the first half, yeah. Sorry, I didn't elucidate that. Yes. Zero Carter said I hate zone defense. Real basketball is man to man. The zone should not be allowed. I was going to say I like the NBA before they allowed zone, but
the thing is, most people don't like zone. But if you're asking me as a gambler, what I like zone defense. Even though you give up some rebounds, you're basically never in foul trouble. That helps.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta be able to shoot. You gotta be able to shoot from downtown. You gotta be able to shoot the 3, or if not, they're just gonna play zone all night. So, anyway, you were saying, sir?
Yeah. So the domestic answer is obviously Gonzaga. Because, shocker, who would have thought that they ended up losing again early in the tournament? Yep. The international choice is Italia because of the ridiculous loss to North Macedonia last night, which eliminated them again from World Cup contention. They somehow have managed to win the Euro, and yet they've missed the last 2 World Cups. That's almost impossible. Macedonia, I believe, was 16-1, or they were something like that on the money line at some point during the match. Really? You lose to Macedonia? What are you, nuts? Come on, Italia, get it together, man.
The guys are talking about the Zags not being able to shoot the 3, and they talking about Timmy taking deep shots, and I thought the same thing when I saw Timmy taking a 3-pointer as the shot clock ran down. I'm like, that's exactly what Arkansas has to be asking for. That's what you want to see is him playing 20 feet from the basket, right?
Yeah. The thing is, Gonzaga, Timmy at 25. I mean, it wasn't like
that was stunning to me. I looked that up because the whole game I'm thinking he's not playing good basketball. And
the entire final 5-10 minutes he had 15 points.
And I looked up his box score, and he was in the 20s at that point.
So the thing is that I caved after the first week or so, and then I went back on it later in the year. I roasted Gonzaga's guards from the get-go and said, I don't think Nembhard's very good. Yep. I don't think the guys are very talented on the perimeter. Then I kind of caved a bit after the UCLA game, but then I went back to it. My initial instinct was right. Gonzaga's guards, not very good. And
Yeah.
Nembhard was brutal last night.
Yeah,
He had the one-legged three-pointer there to make the game somewhat close. I don't know how the hell he made that. But he was terrible the entire game.
Yeah, he was not good at all. And you talk about the one thing we didn't touch on was Holmgren getting into foul trouble, which that was a killer. I thought I didn't think, I'm not sure he was quite, I wouldn't say not ready for the moment, but I expected him to play a little better. How about you?
Who, Nembhard?
No, Holmgren.
Oh, Holmgren. I can't really tell because, to be honest, he was in foul trouble the entire night. I thought the fifth foul was bullshit, if I'm being honest. I know he's in the restricted area. I know that he technically jumped. His hands were up, and the guy just bumped right into him. I didn't think it was a foul. At least to foul a guy out like that, I think that was a good call. I think Holmgren's an overrated prospect. I think he's good, but people are drafting him on the what if, and he's an extremely flawed he's a project player.
Yep.
I mean,
agreed.
That's a good way to describe him, isn't it?
We talked about that in one of our news stories when we were doing radio. We talked about him.
About 30 pounds.
Yep, absolutely. All right. We have advertised it, and now we have delivered. If you're fans of the Plus Money Honey, and if you're a fan of Morning Wood, hey Scott, who isn't? Let's bring her on. It's the one, the only, Picks and Parlay's very own Allie Burns. What's up, Allie?
How's it going, guys? I agree. That should not have been a foul to put him out. I absolutely agree with that.
I just don't know what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
The guy dribbles right into him. He puts his hands up while trying to jump, but his hands are vertical, and they called a foul. I don't know what he was supposed to do.
It was a basketball play. I mean, that's literally what it's supposed to do. So I'm totally with you.
I thought the officials, for the most part, in all the games, let them play last night. There were a couple of exceptions, but you had a couple of games where they actually had to foul on purpose just to get over the limit and allow the other team to shoot. So I thought it was a pretty. I liked that, Scott, and you and I said that if the officials were hands off, that we thought Tech would be able to take care of business, and they did for about 3/4 of the game, and then they didn't. So
yeah. Well, you said the refs let them play. That I agree. I thought the refs as a whole were pretty good last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you have the Holmgren call.
They've been good.
Yeah, but then you have the Holmgren call late, and that just completely went against the entire type of let them play vibe they were going for up to that point.
Well, and you know what? It was the same as the game the other day where he knocked him across into the backcourt, and they didn't call it.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, I don't think the refs have had a great tournament, not from a foul perspective, but from, I mean, hell, the Arizona game alone, I thought was an absolute disaster at the end against TCU. I mean, that was an all-time terrible job refereeing. But
all right, we'll let you rant when Allie's not here. Let's talk about important stuff. Let's do the 4 games. Well, then you've come to the right place. Feel free to rant. We always allow the guests to rant. We just have to rein it in ourselves every once in a while when we have company. All right, let's start it off with the games tonight. Again, the 2 early games. The one that we think is probably going to be the most fun, or certainly that is going to have the most one-sided rooting tonight in America. It's by the way, Allie, happy Peacock Day. It is actually National Peacock Day.
So St. Peter's has a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
That's right. Allie, they're a 13-point underdog right now. Do they have a chance? Do they have a chance to win? And do they have a chance to cover?
Well, I know that there's never been a 15 seed that's moved farther past this point. So this would be a big deal for them. It'd be history making. In March, everybody has a chance. That's what makes March. Everybody's got a chance, right? The fact that they're here now tells us that. Am I going to take them on the money line? I am not. I am not going to do that. But I have them in a teaser and in play. I'll see what's going down with the in play action there. They're a fun team. They hit those threes. They play a decent defense. Purdue is not my I know Michael Dost is in here and he went to Purdue. I like Purdue. I've dug them all year, but I just don't feel like even when I talked about it on Morning Wood this morning, I'm like, Purdue I don't feel like they lived up to my expectation this year. I'm like, what? They're a 2 seed, right? And then I look and they're a 3 and I'm like, see what I mean? Exactly. I feel like they should have been a 3, but I think that coming off that scare with TCU is going to have Purdue's heads on pretty tight. They're going to come and play today and mean business. So I just think it's a lot of points, ton of points.
I agree. Scott, you've avoided the question the whole game. Where's your money going to be bet tonight? If you had to bet, I know you probably won't play it, but
Yeah, on this game, truth is, I think I'm just leaning with Purdue.
All right.
It's a spot where the difference between Purdue and Kentucky, of course, they both have quality big men. Shigwe, we know, is going to win Player of the Year. The guards weren't great for Kentucky. Purdue's got Ivy. Like, I have a serious question mark, not just about the big men, but if Ivy is going to just do whatever he wants in the backcourt. And I do think that if you run pick and roll with Edey, with Williams, and with, of course, Ivy handling the ball, I don't know what St. Peter's is supposed to do to stop it, not to mention the fact that Purdue should probably attempt 30-plus free throws minimum in this game. So whether they make the free throws, different story, because that was kind of a bit of an issue in the Texas game. They got to the line a lot. They just struggled making them. But Purdue has the size. Then again, Matt Painter I'm not a fan of, so if there was one coach that would blow this game, it would be Matt Painter. But I'm going to lean to Purdue. I just think Ivy with that combo with the big men, I think it's just too much.
Providence, Kansas. KU traveling up to the city of the big shoulders in Chicago to take on the Friars. Hawks laying 7.5. Allie, that's a lot of points for this Kansas team. Kim Palm hates Providence. How do you feel about them?
I love Providence. I love the Friars. You know, we were talking about the height differentiation. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, because I don't think like height or coaching or natural talent come close to like a really hot, motivated team that's got like a chip on their shoulder. And I think what Providence is that they're a team. What are they, 27-5 or something? I mean, this team kicks butt. They won the Big East for the first in their program's history. They're hungry, you know, and they are going to come for you, Bill Self. They're about to come for you, Bill. Just saying.
Very good.
Gotta
Very
bring some
good.
holy water. I'm all over Providence. I like a money line. I got them in a tease. I like them any way I can get them.
We talked about that. Do you have them in a crisscross?
No, because I don't like Bill Self. It would make me have to bet on Bill Self. So
fair enough. You don't even like Bill Self with 4 or 5 extra points, huh?
No, I'd still be laying points with him though. With 7, the lowest I could get it down to would be a -1. And I think Providence. I hope, but I also think Providence can win it. I'm not saying they do, but they can. So I'm gonna roll with them doing that.
I don't like you, Bill Self. Not in a box, not with a fox.
Him, Steve Alford, Painter. We'll throw Matt Painter in there.
Steve Alford's a throwback choice. What's your story with Alford?
It's fading him is a full-time job, and I say it on my show all the time. Fading Steve Alford's a full-time job. Just anytime that there's a basketball team that he's coaching, just bet against him and you'll cash. What were they against us all season? I'll bet you I won.
That's a good question. I know Nevada was brutal this year, so it probably wasn't good.
They played a little better late, but they were brutal for the first 2/3 of the season for sure.
Cameron Ross, one of the handicappers at picksandparlays.net, makes fun of me. He goes, "You're one of the people I know that fades a coach." I'm like, hell yeah, Willie Taggart in football, I'll fade you all day. Yeah,
if you faded Barnes in like the round of 32 in the tournament, you've probably made a killing for the last couple of years. But
he hates Rick Barnes. I don't know what Rick Barnes did to his mom. I don't know what happened.
I just not matter hating him. If he actually won some tournament games, I'd like him. I mean, it's the same reason why I don't like McCaffrey from Iowa. It's because he keep losing in the second round or the first round.
By the way, Allie, what do you think of the total? Since you torture us with totals once a week, what do you think of the total on that Purdue St. Peter's game? 134.
Over.
Rochelle?
For the Purdue game, I got to go with the over because I think with the free throws alone, Purdue might have a shot at getting to 80.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of shooting from the perimeter, certainly on St. Peter's side, so I'll go over as well. Steve Alford is the problem. He wanted to play at Purdue, so he had to play for Indiana. Oh, shit. Yep. We're going to have a rumble in the
conference. Mr. Basketball. Wasn't he Mr. Basketball at Indiana?
He was Mr. in the state of Indiana, yeah. He was the
Well, he was the one that Indiana fans were pissed about because the Pacers took Reggie Miller instead of him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, how'd that work out? I think you made out just fine. So
yeah, I know Celtics fans also not a big fan of Alford, but I also like Providence here plus the points.
Yep.
Kansas, I know memorabilia mentioned that Kansas is playing well right now. They are. Their last game, they played against Creighton with no starting point guard and no center.
Right.
And they still struggled for most of the game.
Yep.
I know that they're on a winning streak. I wasn't exactly impressed by how they played against Creighton. They won the game. They blew it open late. It was a 2-point game with like 3 minutes to go. But with all the injuries and everything like that, I get that Creighton had a moment of inspired basketball being shorthanded. They really did not play that well, and they won the game anyway.
Every time I bet against the team like it turns into a fucking Disney movie for the other side. Oh, those plucky bastards! They rallied one more time. Sorry, buddy.
Well, you mentioned the Disney movie aspect. Truth is, Providence is kind of a half team of destiny this season because I feel like everybody in every metric hates them.
Oh yeah,
and they keep winning games.
Oh shit! That chip just keeps getting bigger. Every game they win, that chip on their shoulder it becomes just like fucking the world on Atlas's shoulder.
And I do think that's also an important part where Kansas, even though they choke with Bill Self all the time, they're used to being in the Sweet 16. They're used to making to the second weekend. Providence is not. So I do think that you make an argument if it comes to motivation where both teams, of course, want to win.
Yeah.
If you're looking for any edge there, this is Providence's biggest game, arguably, in program history. Yeah. They could either respond or shrink in the moment. Just saying.
This is the spot most seasons where you find out what you're going to get from KU. If they win this, they're going to the Final Four, probably going to the championship game. This is also this point where 2/3 of the time they puke on their shoes and don't move on. So I will say this: I like Providence as well. Scott and I talked about doing this for Bet the Farm play. We couldn't come up with 4 reasons why. I'm not going to lie to you. All 3 of us like Providence. It's really just the way these teams have been playing. I
give you 4 reasons why to take Providence.
You got 4 reasons? 4 legit? All right, hit us.
We got Ed Cooley. We know Ed Cooley's one. We know that's one.
All right, well, there's one. Number 2, they're a way more motivated team. Motivation, momentum, I think that has a lot to do with it. They're playing against Bill Self, who's going to trip over his own dick, like he does. And shit, maybe I only got 3.
That's what I'm saying. We try to find a couple of efficiency
numbers.
And
it's too many points. It's too many points. 7 points.
We try to find efficiency numbers that suggest why we think that there's certain whatever. Kansas is better at everything.
Yeah.
So we really just couldn't find an angle to use for that. But
yeah, when you look at the metrics, I'm with you though, Scott. The one thing that really troubles me is this is a Kansas team that gave up 72 to Creighton last week. That was severely hindered as far as what they should have been able to do offensively.
Yeah.
I had KU there. I thought they'd go out and blast them. They didn't. I'm with you. This is an eye test thing, I think, really for all 3 of us. It's 2 teams we've seen play a lot this season, and we just like one team better. And I think Allie hit it on the head with her last point. It's just too many points. 7.5 is too much.
Too many points.
I think it goes over. I think it goes over the 141.5 too.
I've seen Providence play a lot of close games this season. They have fared incredibly well in those situations, and I think Providence finds a way because they have all season long to keep it close.
Yep,
7.5 should put it just outside the scramble too.
Yeah,
like Providence doesn't seem like a scared team. Like they're not necessarily happy to be there. Like in a sense that the Peacocks are just happy to be there. Like holy crap, look what we're doing. Providence has been actively trying to get right here all season long, and I think by winning the Big East, it shows us that. You know, they've covered, they've won outright as huge dogs. They're actively trying to get to where they are right now. So I like that a lot about them. They're gritty,
and they're also incredibly experienced.
Yeah,
I have to say the amount of Bill Self hate in the comment section right now warms my Mizzou grad K-State fan heart so much. I couldn't love you guys more right now. Thanks very much.
Are you a K-State guy?
Yeah. My son went there. I turned into a K-State guy. Yeah,
I like K-State too. There, Kelly in Vegas, handicapper here in Vegas. Kelly in Vegas. I'm sure y'all have heard of Kelly Stewart before, but she's a K-State girl. But I did K-State a lot too. But I can't stand Kansas for nothing.
There you go. There you go.
I think Duke UNC. I think UNC beats UCLA tonight outright because I think Duke UNC is destiny.
It's never happened in the tournament before, so it would be a hell of a situation for that to be Coach K's.
We talked about that. Scott and I are on different sides. I've got North Carolina +2 there as well. I like them in that spot, getting the points.
I got them.
Scott, you're on UCLA. You're on UCLA. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, I root for North Carolina, so it's a way of me hedging. No, actually, though, I do think that UCLA, I just think the guards aren't going to turn the ball over. And North Carolina can be a little bit sloppy with the ball. Hell, we saw the Leaky Black pass off the backboard in overtime. We saw them against the press. We know they turned the ball over a bunch. But UCLA defensively is a solid team. And Carolina's guards, very, very streaky from 3. I just think UCLA has the depth. They have the consistency. North Carolina could win if they shoot the lights out, but I do think that Carolina might end up struggling more than people think here.
I think just the fact that the line is out at 2.5 tells you that it's going to be a closer game. That Brady Manick kid has just impressed me to no end. I mean, it's like he wakes up in the morning and eats a basketball for breakfast, you know?
You mean Bill Walton? You mean Bill Walton Jr.?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, what is my dude?
Destiny is not measurable. UCLA will be wary of being like the Zags and Arizona.
I understand that. But some things are just meant to be. And some things the sports books just want to be. And Duke playing UNC again, I think, is one of those. And I swore up and down in the ACC tournament that Duke UNC would meet again. And it didn't work right there. So I was like, okay, so there's a bigger plan for a bigger game at a later date. And here
Scott
we are.
Scott said that might be the high life of his life if North Carolina and Duke play in the tournament and North Carolina sends Coach K into the sunset with an L on his.
It was already a top 3 moment when they beat him in his final game at Cameron Indoor. That's an all-time moment.
That's why there has to be another game. Like, that's why I feel like there has to be the third game. I just.
Well, these are all cool stories. I prefer to talk about the fact that I think North Carolina is going to be able to dominate the Bruins inside.
I do too.
Okay.
So I like them. Plus the points. I think this game, again, is close to a coin flip. We have our saying around here: when it's a coin flip, grab the points. I'm doing it. Give me North Carolina 2.5. You know what? I'll play the under there. I think
last time you said that to me, it was Washington State and BYU. Grab those points, baby. Grab those points.
That's right.
They crushed them in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Hell yeah, they did. Old Steamroller tried to take some BYU action. I said, nah.
What? I liked him at home. I liked BYU in that spot at home. Not gonna lie.
For me, it's going to be a close game with UCLA. I've seen UCLA pull out so many bullshit wins over the last year or so with Cronin. Even the game against Akron was a bullshit win. They just find a way to win a bunch of these close games. And the game against Baylor, I know that North Carolina won. They looked a little nervous in the last couple of minutes there. Hell, the last 10 minutes when they faced the press.
But once Manick went out that game, I said it, both 2 of my ladies were here at the time. And as soon as Manick went out, I was like, this whole game shifts right now. Because we had a middle. We had 5.5 UNC, 7.5 Baylor. Baylor by 7 is what, or UNC by 7. So we hooked it in. But I mean, when he went out, I said, girls, it's all about to shift. And it did. He is really the difference maker. And they got shook. Like, you could tell without him on the court, they didn't exactly know what to do with themselves. So
I think of course he's back in this game, but that's kind of a problem. You're up 25. Like, it should never have come to that point, no matter which players you're missing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of UCLA love in the comment section. So where everybody was fading KU before, everybody's fading North Carolina here for the most part.
Sure, there's a lot of good storylines around for everybody because UCLA is having even the Butler run. You lose the year before, we got to make it back.
Right?
Yeah.
We call that the Rose here, by the way.
Yeah. UCLA and Houston both Final Foured last year and fell to Gonzaga and Baylor, who are both gone now. So there's that.
How funny would it be if none of the number 1 seeds made it to the Elite Eight? I'm sure that
surprised me.
I'm sure that's never happened.
Our main takeaway for the entire season in college basketball was I'm pretty sure every team sucks. No, not actually like that, but there's no elite teams. Last year, you could tell Gonzaga and Baylor and everybody else. Like, it really wasn't close. Those are the best 2 teams. This year's just been, well, this team's good randomly on this Tuesday, but then looks awful on Friday, so I don't know what to think of them.
Yeah, every team has had really disappointing performances, just out of character performances. All right, final game on the card. This is the late night game at 9:59 Eastern time. Who does that shit? Why do you do that? Just make it 10 o'clock. Let's go. Come on, what are we doing? Iowa State, Miami 3-point favorites, 131.5 is the number there. I think it would be fair, lady and gentleman, to say that both of these teams may be a little surprised to be here at this point. No?
I'm more surprised.
I'm sure you ask them, they would say they aren't, but I think the rest of us.
The thing is, Miami had to play a 1 seed, but I'm actually more surprised Iowa State's here than Miami because I didn't think Iowa State was very good. The last 2 of the last 3 games they played leading up to the tournament, they scored less than 42 points. I did not think they were very talented. Miami's still experienced. Larinaga, every now and then in March has a miracle run. And I think Miami's just good. And plus, both of us hated Auburn for like the entire year because we don't exactly think Bruce Pearl's a great coach.
Oh, God. Put him on the list.
I love Bruce Pearl.
Oh,
I think he's a fun personality, but I think we can agree the entire season, the offensive game plan was just go ISO in the final 4 minutes of every game, and they got their ass kicked.
That's how he gets you when he says, "I think you'd agree." Don't fucking fall for it, Allie. Don't say yes. You just say no. I do not agree.
Oh, is that what you think? You do? You think I'd agree? Well,
I believe you believe that. Are you, Allie? Where are you at on this one? You on the Miami side as well?
I'm really split in the middle. Otzelberger was UNLV's coach last season. I love this Otzelberger guy. I've loved him since South Dak State with the Jackrabbit. So I love their coach. I love him as a human. And shocked. I remember looking through the bracket and being like, Iowa State, huh? like who the frick missed their spot that Iowa State got in? I really couldn't believe they were in. Miami, on the other hand, again, a bit surprised, but Miami is a gritty team. They play conference, right? So whenever Duke plays Miami, I don't ever have good feelings about it. They're gritty. They'll come for you. I think I can't pick a side. Part of me says Iowa State in the air, part of me Miami in the air. And I think that way. If you think Iowa State wins, they're going to do it on defense and you take it under. If you think it's the other way, you go over. So this is just one I can't put my finger on, but I'll be excited to watch it. This is an in play all day for me. Also, I want my
I kind of agree with that. It's definitely a correlated play. I think probably more than any of the other games on tonight's card. It's definitely a correlated play for me as well. If you're playing Iowa State, I think it's going to be that defense. It's the fifth most efficient defense according to Ken Palm. They do play good defense, and so I think it's going to be correlated with the under. Conversely, I think if Miami wins that one, it has a lot bigger chance to go over the total. So I've got Iowa State, and I'm going to have to play the under because I do think that defense at the end of the day really steps up. I think Miami peaked in their game against Auburn. Scott, now tell me why I'm wrong.
So I was great on totals yesterday. To be honest, my sides were awful for yesterday's card. Miami's probably my favorite play on today's card. At the end of the day, Iowa State, I don't think they can score. And I know that they beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin can't score either. So, they did a good job of buckling down defensively. But Miami just has so much scoring depth, and Iowa State just doesn't. And I'm viewing it the exact same way I'm viewing the Duke-Texas Tech game, which was the exact point that Allie made. It's correlated. And I thought Texas Tech would do enough defensively in order to win the game. They did not. I think Miami has enough scoring talent and enough depth and enough athleticism to potentially score 70 here, or at least high 60s. And I think there's no chance in hell Iowa State's getting to the high 60s. So there's only one way Iowa State can win. I think Miami can win in a variety of ways. Miami's my favorite play for the college basketball card tonight. But I'm not saying Iowa State's got no chance to win, but I do think Miami's the better team.
Yeah, I would. And like I said, that personality, just watching Otzelberger in front of my face and overhearing what he's saying to his players, he's almost militant. When the game was over, he would, how they all line up and shake hands. He would say, look them in their eyes, shoulders back and look them in the eyes when you go down that aisle. So he's really into respect, and which means he ain't dirty. Which means he's not going to poke you in the eye if he gets the chance, whereas Miami will poke you in the eye. They will not have a problem doing that. I like the poke you in the eye team. You know what I mean? It's just like a hunger thing for me, a grit. So I'm rooting for Iowa State. Again, I really can't choose, but I like your analysis on Miami. They're
for me, Iowa State played against an
LSU team. Will be prepared for this team because of his militant aforementioned stuff. He'll be prepared.
Iowa State played against an LSU team with no coach and a Wisconsin team that can't score. Larinaga, whether you like him or not, has a very solid track record in the tournament. He's a very good coach. And Miami's definitely the most talented offensive team that Iowa State's probably faced in, I don't even know, a couple of weeks. I think that Miami gets it done. -3 on the money line. I think they'll win by 5.
Bill McDonald wants to know about total for the North Carolina game. I don't think we picked one out.
Trying to remember last night's total
141 and a half.
It's a good question. I think
And
I
you
have to
always
like
gotta-
the over with North Carolina. I mean, their games have just been track meets recently.
Yeah,
and
I
it
think,
could easily go to overtime. I could see an overtime.
yeah, I lean over. I don't love it, but I'm going to lean over the 141.5 as well.
The only thing I don't like about it is that it seems low. Like if I was going to set the total just off the top of my head without doing numbers, I'd say like around a 148 to a 151. So just the fact that it's a 141 seems a little bit low to me, but maybe that's just me in my own head. You know, I haven't been doing a lot of numbers for this whole tournament. I've just really been going on instinct, and it looks like too many points and more basic intuitive rundowns, and I've been doing really well. So
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Well, you've also had the layoffs and the neutral site. By the way, James, I know Iowa State scored 70 14 times this season. They scored less than 69 in each of the last 5. I'm going by recent form.
Okay. So that's
I mean, you don't have to worry about scoring if you can just keep the other guys from doing
That's
it.
right.
Too.
only half the battle.
Mhm.
All right, Allie, before we let you go, tell us your favorite play tonight. What's the one play that you've got the most confidence in? Could be a prop even if you've got
You know what? I could be 100% wrong, but it's just because of my conspiracy theory brain. I think that UNC beats UCLA tonight because I think the books want Duke and UNC to play.
Okay, very good.
That's
And
what
what's the game you want to make sure you don't miss of the 4 games? What you most excited to watch as a fan?
It's probably the same game. It's probably gonna be
Providence, really Providence, though. I've
Okay.
loved them for EVs, and I'm so excited to finally see them getting in their spot. This is not the first year I've been betting on Providence. I don't know about y'all, but this is not my first go around, you know. So I'm excited to see them where they are. All 4 of the games I'm pretty stoked for, really.
Okay, very good.
Purdue St. Peter's I could probably live without, but yeah.
All right. So, and I also want to mention the fact that I think we just taught Rachel a valuable lesson, which is don't answer for a fucking woman ever who's about to give you an answer. So
I assumed you're gonna pick UCLA and North Carolina because
Well, you know what happens when you assume? You
gotta
make an
get back-
ass
make an
out
ass
of
out of
you and also you, because
Buddy,
not
yeah,
me,
okay.
because I didn't do anything to make me look like an ass. Okay, just
Buddy,
saying.
Fair enough.
buddy, you got to get back on Tinder. Come on, man. Come on, you got to get out there, man. You're spending too much time in that room. All right, very good. Allie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Morningwood every day at 1 p.m. Eastern time, every day except Sunday. And then Google anyone out there or YouTube Total Chaos, Picks and Parlays. Rachel won. You were 3-2?
3-0.
I was
3-0. Sorry, 3-0.
Yeah.
What were you, Steen?
2-1.
2-1. All right. So that's just it. If you guys aren't making money by watching Total Chaos, the episode before that, Dre Richardson 4-1-1, and Nick Parsons was 4-0-1, 3-1-1. Like even when you lose, you're still making the people money. So YouTube Total Chaos. There's already one out right now for the 4 games that happened tonight with Cam Ross, Kaepernick, and Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room.
There you go. Thanks very much for joining us, Allie. We appreciate it, and we will see you on Tuesday night as Scott, Chris, and I return to do our battle in Total Chaos as well.
Yes, Chris King's on tonight with me. He'll do Total Chaos tonight for the Saturday game. So keep your little eyeballs
so now
out. That's
he
why y'all
shows
gotta
up.
like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, y'all.
Very good.
So Chris
All right.
loses to us and he decides to show up
That's right.
one after we were
He
there.
can't look
Okay,
us
cool.
he can't look us
All
in
right,
the
cool.
eye. All right.
see how
Okay,
it
he had a hot date with his hot wife. Okay,
Okay.
Fair
not
enough.
putting that past him.
Can't argue with that. All right, Allie, we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Good luck on all your bets.
You guys too. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you.
Bye.
There she goes, everybody. Allie Burns. Cool lady. I was going to say cool chick, but you can't say that shit anymore. So, and she knows her stuff too. She's pretty intuitive. She's a little more intuitive probably than you and I are about some plays. But when we talked about it being the case with the Providence play, where we all like it, and you can't really you can't just lay it out. And some things are more than words. So,
well, you know me, I have a weakness for statistics.
Absolutely, yeah. I like to be able to. Prove a play, but sometimes it doesn't work because sometimes your hunches are right. So, all right, let's do it, Scott. We're running late. We've had a lot of fun today, guys. We've had a lot of fun this week. Thanks for joining us as always. And it is time for the last thing we do, Scott. And it's becoming a pretty popular segment. So let's do it. Let's everybody get them out. Get them out. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, get them on. All right, there it is. Perfect. I see. Okay, this still looks so goddamn goofy. There.
It's the perks of having headphones.
That's so much better. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. It is. I look like I'm a fucking gangster from the 40s. All right. It is time once again, everybody, to climb aboard your John Deere, put on those overalls, put on your straw hats. I hope you got them by now. I hope you guys are wearing your own straw hat right there. Fire that tractor up, everybody, because it is time to bet the farm. All right, Scott. I know we did have a play yesterday on those Kansas City Royals. How'd that go?
Well, they blew the lead, and then we almost had a tie, but they scored, and we ended up winning.
Cue the banjos!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right, guys. We're going to look to college basketball tonight. It's one of our rare plays on a game that people are actually going to be watching, Scott. And it can't be that easy because it's going to be a proposition bet, and it's going to be the one, the only. You know him. You've just fallen in love with him. It's Uncle Rico. It's Doug Eddard. We want to take him over 9.5 points. That's available at -120 on DraftKings. And why would we do such a thing, Scott? Excuse me, guys. He has had at least 10 points in each of his last 4 games. The bigger the moment, the bigger the game from Uncle Rico. St. Peter's shouldn't be able to do much on the inside. We talked about that during the show. They're going to be shooting a bunch of threes, guys. That's what it's going to come down to in this game. How go the threes? How goes the game for the Peacocks? Purdue, how do they do against the three? They're not great, guys. They're right about average. They're 160th in opposing three-point percentage. And you're wondering, how much has he played? How much does he get to the line? Can the guy take a foul? He absolutely can. He has recorded at least 6 free throw attempts in each of his last 3 games. That's free points. And when you want to, and you know he's a good free throw shooter, when you're trying to get over 9.5, getting to the line 6 times is definitely a help. So we're going to take that Doug Eddard over 9.5 points for the St. Peter's Peacocks. I thought you would join me there, buddy. I really did. And that's going to be our Bet the Farm play for today. That's going to be our show for today. That's going to be our show for the week. Don't forget to stay tuned here in just a few minutes. We're going to be coming right back at you at Left Turn Mania. That's going to be our NASCAR show with me and Scott and Chris King. So you guys take care. Thanks for joining us. If you don't see us on NASCAR, make sure you stop back by here Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as Scott and I will once again strap in and do our very best to help everybody in their journey to head back to